What's up, everybody? My name is Mr. Dupa. That right there is Drunk Dave Romero.
I'm back again.
He is back again. That's right. You weren't here last week. And that's Adam Obesius Rodriguez.
I'm still here.
Never left. Tonight's brew is... I don't know. Actually, tonight's brew is a mystery box brew. Obi brought it over...
In a bag.
Yeah. Because we're worthless pieces of shit winos.
He couldn't, wrap it in, electrical and tape or something to block it out.
Nah.
Nothing. It was just in a bag.
Threw it in a bag.
Love
it
you
looks
guys.
pretty good. An amber color to it.
You describe the smell of it.
It smells like Yingling.
It has a strong aroma, right?
It has a lager type smell to it. Definitely. Kind of wine.
What do you smell,
Wine
boy?
smelling?
What do you smell?
Smells like the One Beer In podcast.
Lost to be found by someone to save you when you're down. Yes, I'm bored when it's bright out. So bored when it's bright out. 4 to 5 a.m. takes me to a place where I fit in.
That does not taste how it smells.
I think so.
No. I was expecting Yingling.
Doesn't taste like Yingling.
No. No, it doesn't. Tastes better.
Are you trolling us? Is
No.
this really a bad beer? And it's
No.
gotcha, bitch. You
Oh
guys
my
love
God.
Budweiser.
That would be so good. And yet, would kind of chop the knees of this podcast.
Shut you whores up for good. Okay, so everybody's had a fair taste.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I'm hesitant because I don't want it to be Budweiser.
Well, no, it's definitely not. I swear to you, it's not Budweiser. That much I'll tell you.
Is it a pale ale?
No.
Are we supposed to guess?
No, you don't have to guess what kind it is. I just want to know your rating.
I like it.
Everybody get one more sample taste.
Yeah, I dig it.
It's all right.
I'd go with 4.
Okay.
I'm gonna lowball this one at 2.5.
Oh man.
Just because I don't know what it is.
That's not a good reason to
it's
give
just-
it a low score.
Yeah, don't be
Yeah, I mean-
apprehensive because you don't know what it is. Take it at face value. How does it taste to you? Fair score.
I'll give it 3.
Okay.
It's an average beer.
I would go with a 3 as well.
Not knocking me socks off.
Right. Okay, so drum roll, please.
Oh, look at this stupid asshole smiling. Yeah. I knew it.
Folks, that's right. We have a Miller Fortune. Miller Fortune.
Do you know how drum roll works?
Or you
can
stop.
No, I did that because of how deflating
Oh,
the
okay.
beer was.
Oh.
So yeah, it's a Miller Fortune. This is what I had at the Governor's Ball Music Festival, and I wasn't really disappointed by it. I thought
This
it
is
was
like those
okay.
commercials where they have those people in a restaurant and they're like, "This lasagna's delicious."
Well, your meal was made by Olive Garden.
But yeah, can't lie, it was pretty solid.
It's not bad.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like you
I
said.
knew
It
you were
wasn't like
trolling us.
knock your socks off. Great,
Yeah.
but I thought it was pretty solid.
It's a valiant effort from a piss beer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. And as long as this is like a jumping off point for people to get into other beers, other craft beers that the people that usually drink Miller, I think it's good. I think it's a good thing for people to experiment with. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit higher in the ABV too, so people get used to that kind of stronger flavor.
Sure.
Once I really thought about it, you can have a little bit of like that undertone of the Miller
Yeah.
eventually.
Yeah. That's where it was.
Yeah.
The high life.
Yeah, there's a little touch of that
Yeah.
at the very end of the taste. But
kind of makes me want to
Punch you in the face out of it. Just drink this.
drink lower tier beers objectively. Like,
Get a true rating on the the big maybe 4 that
Yeah.
are out there.
yeah,
We may have a bad night doing that.
yeah. It's definitely headaches next day. No doubt about it. But
Yeah.
Well, it's Bad Beer Night on the One Beer and Podcast. Thanks to Adam.
Boom, 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 boom. No, we have a backup beer too. So
which, yeah. Maybe we should have done this halfway through the show. Oh, don't act like now all of a
Yeah.
sudden it's like a terrible
now I
beer
taste
now
the
that
highlight.
you know what it is.
Now that I figured out what that taste was,
yeah. I think it's fine.
I hate it.
I hate it.
Well, this is episode 21 of the One Beer and Podcast. We're
This
drinking
episode-
Miller Fortune.
We should have drank our faces off in this episode because it's legal age.
Yep.
Yeah,
Marco mentioned
you know
that last
what?
time.
You should have bought these in cans and we should have just fucking stabbed them and shotgunned them.
Relax.
That's
Relax.
what 21-year-olds
Calm
do.
down, Stone Cold. Okay.
Can I get a hell yeah?
Well, man, yeah.
Thanks,
It's getting to me now a little bit.
That's why they're sample cups.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, it's still pretty solid.
Yeah.
I feel like I kind of... 4 is kind of a high rating, but
Yeah.
I go with my heart. Whatever. Anyway,
I should have stuck with my 2.5.
let's just kind of jump right in. Let's just move along.
Don't we always?
Yeah, I think we do. We had this discussion earlier today, and
Got a little heated because we're a bunch of nerds.
I was cool, man.
Yeah,
that was cool.
I wasn't tripping. I just know that it just bothers you for some reason.
Let's explain. This.
I mean, we've had this
conversation we
discussion before, but it basically boils down
Just
to
tell 'em what brought it
how
up,
do
like-
you
Like,
what
you
what do you mean?
you bought Infamous a few days ago.
Yeah,
You beat it already. Infamous Second Son. You beat it already. And Adam
I beat it a day and a half.
Adam got his jimmies all rustled because he knew you didn't do any of the side missions.
Yeah.
I did a couple, but definitely not. I didn't 100% complete.
Literally
it.
2.
Yeah, probably. But
Yeah.
so it begs the question: how are you supposed to play a game, a AAA title, a game that's supposed to take you? Now, granted, Infamous is a short game.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
It's
Objectively, it's a short game.
Yeah.
Regardless of if you do this, every side mission you can do, it's still a short game.
Yeah.
Overall. So.
But it still begs the question: how do you actually, how do you get the full experience from these games?
Right.
How are
So-
they intended to be played? How should you play them? Does it matter?
Right. For me,
Sometimes it does.
I think it
It's
really does.
it's subjective.
It kind of depends on the type of game. Because, I mean, like Watch Dogs. I'm playing that. I'm still in the middle. It's a long-ass game.
Yeah.
And I think it's a long-ass game is because there's so much other shit to do in that game. And it's like, okay, I'll finish the mission, and then I'll be driving, and it'll pop up with, like, a side quest. And I'll be like, sure, why not? And that side quest will lead into another side quest. And then I'm
Right.
going to explore for a little bit, and then another side quest. And it's just something... I think developers just put it in there so you have more time to play the game, or they force you to put more time into the game.
That's a good way of making people play the side missions, though. Like having them, like if they're like random events that pop up, that's always good.
Right.
Giving people, telling somebody, okay, you can do the main story, or you can go halfway across the map and do this side mission. I mean, it doesn't really.
Well, no, it's kind of always the opposite. That wherever the main mission ends, the next mission is like really far away, and then their side mission is just right.
Yeah, there's
there.
lots of stuff in your way
guess.
in order to get to that main
Yeah,
mission.
because most of the time, like when I'm playing Watch Dogs on the way to the next mission, I'll be like, I've never seen that icon before, or oh hey, I can unlock this right here, or do something.
Let me check it out. It's
Yeah,
right
and the thing
here.
about Watch Dogs is just, there's so much content and there's so much depth to all their content that they do. So like you can unlock, or for no reason you can spy on someone and get like a funny story or a fucked up incident, and you watch it happen just for no reason, and it just unravels more of the city,
The world,
you know?
yeah. I like that world building thing, like we were talking about earlier
Yeah.
with Last of Us. I feel like they did that seamlessly. There's no side missions in Last of Us. It's just you explore, and
Yeah.
if you decide to go in these nooks and crannies and find these collectibles or whatever, you piece together what happened in that room
Right.
or in that world.
Yeah, but the whole thing with Last of Us is that you didn't you didn't get ammo like crazy. You didn't get weapons like crazy. You had to scavenge
Right.
and find these. And if you found a collectible on the way, that was a plus.
It's built into the game itself.
Right.
And that's what I was saying before. And like that's the way that you do it. That's the way that you make people, fully play these games. You immerse it in the story. You make it necessary, to fully explore something.
But then again, Last of Us wasn't open world either.
That's
Right,
true.
that's true. In Infamous though, like the side missions, not only like the reason I didn't play them was because admittedly I wanted to beat the story.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that's how I play games. I just want to just blaze through the story and then play the side missions later.
Right.
But the side missions in Infamous aren't that good.
Yeah.
They're just, you play the three or four side missions, and then it's just the same thing over and over again. You tag in some place, you find some secret agent, and then you have the
shards.
showdown. And you find the shards. But like it's the same thing over and over again. Like after a while, the side missions just don't. The reward for the side missions just doesn't equal the repetition in playing them.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. And
Specifically,
specifically,
it becomes work.
Yeah.
Specifically with Infamous, I get that completely. They aren't integral to the story. You don't really get cool side stories with it, really.
Right.
Except for actually that really cool online thing they had going on, where you had to log on and do these puzzles online, and you play basically a detective within that. I thought that was really cool, but most people don't do that because you go outside the game to play most of that.
Right.
Nerd.
Yeah. Nerd! But within Infamous, the thing that kept me going was that the carrot at the end of the stick was always getting stronger power. So that kept me looking for those blast shards and doing those side missions. It wasn't that I cared about the story at all, because honestly, I feel like they dropped the ball a little bit with it.
Yeah.
Compared to, part 2 especially.
But it's one of those games that, and we, there's a lot of games like this where you get a power right after it would be necessary to have it, you get stronger, but it's like, if I was this strong a minute ago, it would have helped more. Once you get a power and then, then you're leveling cities and stuff. It's like, well, now I don't need it because I'm already too strong for it.
Yeah.
You give me another power and it doesn't even matter anymore. In the game itself, well, okay, you're going to play it, so I don't want to reveal anything.
But Infamous?
Yeah. Are you going to play it or...
I don't really care about seconds so that much.
Okay, well then, spoiler alert, I guess. The way that the game is set up, you have to absorb different powers from different characters. At the very end of the game, you get concrete power from the final boss. Mm-hmm. But at that point, what do you need it for? You're at the final boss. The game's over now.
Who are you going to fight with it?
Exactly. All you're going to do is the side missions.
All those great side missions.
That's
you've been
it.
saving
So
up.
if you've done all of them in the game, then once you get the concrete power, that's
What's
it.
the
Game's
point of
over.
that?
There's no point. That's exactly what I'm saying. Games like that irritate me because it's like, I went through the whole story without this power. Don't give it to me on the games like Final Fantasy where you get an Ultima weapon,
Right.
Or Kingdom Hearts where you get an Ultima weapon or something like that. It's like I'm already at level 80. I don't need the super cool weapon at the end of the game. It's
Legend
over
of Zelda
now.
Majora's Mask, if you collected all the masks, you would get I forgot what it's called, the mask that transformed him, so you could do the boss fight. So you do all the side quests beforehand, and then when you go to the boss fight, you have that mask that transforms you.
Right.
Okay.
That's an incentive to do it.
Yeah.
In Onimusha, you would collect all the
Orbs, right?
orbs or the demon some shit, and you would get a special sword that just leveled that
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
last boss.
Yep.
See, that makes sense. If you get it right before, or maybe a couple stages before, then you can use it. But once you get it, if it's a reward from that boss,
Yeah.
what's the point?
Yeah. I mean,
There are games, but we're talking about strictly really story driven, somewhat linear games. In an open world game, but in open ended games like Skyrim and Fallout.
yeah.
Those games have completely different methods of playing them because
Yeah.
just going to the mission, you could pick up side quests like crazy.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
that
that's part of the story, though.
That's one thing that I loved about those games is that you would go somewhere and you would pick up 5 other missions on 5 different stories, and somehow they all wove together in that world.
Right.
And it was awesome that in Fallout 3 they were referencing New Vegas, and in New Vegas they were referencing DC in Fallout 3 as well.
It makes it that much bigger of a world.
Yeah, and the add-on, like you would go to Anchorage, Alaska during the war, and they would reference that in 3.
I remember that.
It was very cool the way that they did it, and so it made it so that the entire reality that they created was realistic. Like it had history
It
behind
has a legacy and a history to it.
Right.
Same thing with Skyrim, even. Skyrim's been since the very beginning.
It's not Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
Nerd.
Yeah. Point and click.
Excuse me, it's not Skyrim. It's Elder Scrolls.
The Elder Scrolls saga.
But yeah, games like that, it makes sense to explore the world like that.
But would you, though, Marco?
I would.
In particular?
I mean, I did.
Have you ever did you beat Fallout?
No,
Did you beat Skyrim?
I never played Skyrim.
Jesus.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't see those games as being your kind of games.
they're not, which is why I didn't own a lot of them.
Right.
You own Fallout Vegas.
Owned, turned it in.
Damn. Man.
And you know what? I got like $5 for that game.
That's a really good game.
I would have
How
given
can
you
just-
$5 for that game.
Well, you should have said something.
Oh my
How do you
God.
just like? That's a really good game.
Eh,
You know how many hours of entertainment you have in that?
Yeah, like you're
Not anymore.
You're crying about Infamous. There's so many like the replayability in those
Oh, yeah.
too. Like
yeah, but
those
I
are-
turned my Xbox in. What's the point?
Yeah, I guess so at that point.
Fool. Yeah, I mean, if I turn the console in, all those games become dead technology.
Yeah.
No point. I also got like $12 for Red Dead Redemption. I was really surprised because that game's like really old compared to, like trade-in value.
Yeah.
They gave me a lot of money for it.
These people still buy it.
it's not a lot of money.
$12 is a lot
I mean,
of money.
It's a lot of money from GameStop.
That's
but
what I'm saying.
It's not a
Yeah.
lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Comparatively.
Yeah, it's actually a lot of money. Because usually they give you like $1.60 for games.
Because usually they bend over whoever walks in there and puts their in your butt.
That was graphic.
Yeah, unnecessary.
Anyway, you should have
Yeah.
played Fallout. You should have put the time into it.
I played about halfway through it. It's
No,
not
you
playing.
didn't.
Yeah, I did.
No, there's no way you could have played halfway through it. You played 50% of the game. Or halfway through the story. Halfway through the story is like maybe 7%.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a game based on side missions, basically. Yeah.
You guys really need to like let it go.
No, I mean like
It's like
now,
not
now
that big
that's
a deal.
bothering
It's
me.
not a
Like,
big
you
deal.
You didn't even try on
Now
Fallout.
you
It's just a
see.
game.
Now you see.
You didn't even try.
It's just a video game.
And okay, this is my point because I was thinking about it. I cool off a little bit from our conversation earlier, and I realized that it all depends on what you define as fun.
Yeah.
If Marco doesn't have any fun doing those side missions, then more power to him. Whatever. Me and David, like doing that side stuff.
'Cause you're a bunch of nerds.
I guess. I mean, you get more bang for your buck when you buy a game and actually experience everything that the
No,
developer
Marco
puts
got
in.
the most bang for his buck because he beat the game and then he returned it.
In this
got
instance,
his money back.
In this instance.
That's how you bang that dollar. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the main story is the meat of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything else is just it's good toppings and food on the side, but I'm
I
there
mean,
I'm
look-
there for the steak.
Okay, like if let's say you're having a sandwich, you don't take the lettuce out, eat the sandwich, and then eat the lettuce afterwards.
That's true. That's true. That's a good way to flip that analogy.
That was right here.
That's
It's all
very
part
true.
of the world.
Very
It helps
true.
build the narrative of the game. And
I will say this though, I have gone in my fridge and just eaten ham. I do it all the time.
You know what I saw today? I was waiting for my luggage. Guy puts his backpack down on the ground, pulls out slices of turkey, pulls out bread, makes a sandwich on the floor, waiting for our
Well, he
baggage.
put like a napkin down.
No,
or
he
something.
put it on the bag. He just assembled it really
Oh,
quick
okay.
on the bag.
Aren't those bags
Who the-
thrown
Who the
around?
hell does that?
Where did he get the material? Like, how long was he holding on to that turkey?
I'm hungry, bro.
It was a 2-hour flight. So he just had it in his backpack
Oh my
the whole
God.
time. Decides when we get our luggage.
Yeah,
Now
Think
it's
of
time.
now's the
Fucking
time
hungry
to
now.
make a sandwich.
but you don't make the food when you arrive. Like, you make the food when you're departing. You know?
Yeah.
Why would you? Because you're going home at that point. Just
Maybe
wait.
he wasn't. I don't know.
Yeah,
And
maybe
who
he was
who
going to
travels
connecting
with cold
flight.
cuts and slices of bread.
Hopefully he had just enough to make a sandwich. Hopefully he's not holding on to a...
No.
He had the
I
whole...
2
watched
pounds.
him do it. I was
Sliced ham.
I was so perplexed by it. I watched him do it from afar. I was like, is he making a sandwich? And he's like, he whips out the turkey like a blanket. And he folds it up and puts it on the bread.
Oh, that's
and then,
amazing.
Like, I see him zip up the bag, like squish out the air, and he puts it back in his backpack for a sandwich later on.
Wow.
I wonder what random spot he's gonna choose later. Maybe that's his thing.
Yeah.
He just goes around and just makes sandwiches in inappropriate
Sandwich.
places.
The awkward sandwich man.
How was the bread being protected? Like,
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I would have asked. I would have asked for a sandwich probably.
What if the bag is full of just sandwich meat and
It's
bread?
just, it's all sandwich materials. That's all it
it.
is. He's a traveling sandwich maker. That's all he does.
I feel like we've gotten off track.
He
Yeah.
did kind of. I mean, it was just so bizarre, and you reminded me of it. So I had to share it. Who the hell does that though?
Yeah.
Okay,
See
back,
some weird shit
back
on
to
the
the
road.
point.
Right. I was thinking about it, and
Anyway, the point is Marco hates himself, so
Yeah.
he deprives himself of good
he
games.
plays games wrong. That's pretty much
That's
it.
it. That's it. You guys nailed it.
It sounds like you're gonna cry.
There was like a hiccup coming, but then I like forced it back down.
You know, every time you burp on this podcast, I have to delete it.
Sorry.
It's
The-
gross.
The entire podcast.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be
I
able
don't
to
know
do
what
it.
you want me to do. We're drinking beer. I'm sorry
guess so.
that there's gas in there.
There was legit one time you went, and I felt like it hit my ears when I was editing this thing. So if you could stop doing that
That's
at
funny.
least, that'd be
That's
good.
why I've been trying to burp away, but I'm
It
sorry.
picks it all up.
I'm sorry. I don't know what you want me to do.
Yeah, all right. But anyway, okay. Big lesson here, the more you know, is that there's no one single way, correct way of playing a video game. Whatever floats your boat is cool. It's just, I personally...
Just float your boat.
your boat.
Just float your boat the way we do.
I think it depends on the game. Infamous, it doesn't matter.
I guess.
Like it.
I mean, it all depends on the reward you get behind the side mission.
Right.
What do you get from Infamous side
Power
missions?
up.
That's it.
Yeah,
You just get a
that's
little
it.
stronger, but it doesn't make a difference as far as like the actual game is concerned. It doesn't mean anything. Like I said, I beat the game.
Right. It's leveling up for no reason, basically.
Right.
You
Like
know?
if those side missions were important, like if you weren't powerful enough to beat the rest of the game without the side missions, then totally they're important to the story. Then you
Yeah.
need them. You need to be stronger. You need that kind of stuff.
Right.
But if I can blaze through it and then not even get the last power until the end of the game, then the side missions are completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
Right. Like
And they're not innovative. That's the other problem. If you're going to do side missions, they have to be innovative. They have to hold your attention. They have to be different and be original because they're not part of the actual story. So you have to try harder to get my attention. As far as I'm concerned anyway, you have to try harder to get my attention because I'm going for the linear story. So
Well,
if you're going to drag me away from that, it has to be something
Worth
really
it.
good.
Yeah, I mean, that was always the problem with GTA, was that all the side missions were, take this person here.
Right,
You know,
yeah.
you may get some funny dialogue or something, but it was
Most
never
of the
really...
time, it's just take somebody somewhere or murder an
Yeah.
entire mall
Uh-oh,
of people.
Somebody's chasing us now.
Yeah.
You know, like, we've all seen it before.
Yeah.
I don't know. I had fun with GTA.
Do you still play it?
Five.
I don't
The
have my Xbox.
5 side missions were pretty good. 4, I
Yeah.
didn't think so.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Because
Four
5 was
were awful.
an evolved game. It's
better game,
Yeah.
Last. But games like Fallout and Skyrim, like I said, depends on what you want out of the game. When you play a side mission on those games, you get an entirely different storyline that
Yeah,
goes
yeah.
along in that entire world. So, like with Billy and his ways of wife,
Billy weighs a rifle.
you learned about the orphanage kids that fought
Right.
the fucking death claws and shit.
Yep.
So it was cool to see in that world different groups of people. Like survival was the whole thing, like trying to get together and survive. That was a cool thing. And there were other missions, like what's a good one? Can't remember.
Yeah.
Well, more to what, bringing up GTA, I think that's a good example of a game that is a full game, but the side missions themselves were worth the rest of the game. Like the Easter eggs that popped up, the side missions that they asked you to do, they all seemed like they were not necessary, but they were real. Like they meant something, Like the whole alien conspiracy in the game It's just a fun thing, period, that
Yeah.
they didn't have to put in the game. But that's a whole nother thing that you can do in GTA that has nothing to do with anything.
The main story or anything.
That's originality. That's putting thought
that's
into
not a
something.
side mission per se. That's just an Easter egg you can hunt
Yeah.
after.
That's true.
Well, it was a side mission to first get like abducted by the aliens, so there was that.
Yeah.
The whole thing of the guy that's selling pot, and you
Yeah, those
do
you have to. Yeah,
shooting missions and stuff.
and then
yeah,
yeah, those are. I mean, that's fun.
yeah,
And then
That's true.
and you don't get to see any of the aliens unless you complete the game at 100%. So that's incentive to beat the game as fully as you can to experience the game as fully as possible.
yeah.
But with a game like Infamous, going back to that, you can still experience that game. Like those side missions they don't give you more.
Right.
You know, they just they make the experience longer.
Yeah, the thing with me in Infamous was that I had that incentive to complete it. Maybe because I'm a completionist, but also because it just felt good to get those powers, like to power up all the way. For me, that was worth it. It didn't have anything to do with the story, but just it felt good to level up all the way, basically.
Yeah.
That was worth it for me, just to see all the powers that you could possibly have and max them out.
Right.
You know? So,
All right. Well, the lesson here is, like you said,
Marco doesn't know how to play games.
I don't know how to play games according to David.
so
and
stupid!
I'm terrible at video games. But
Guys,
anyway,
if you want to send your hate mail to Marco Dupa about how badly he plays games,
my email is go fuck you yourself
we'll give him your new address.
at hotmail.com. Anyway,
Moving on to our real beer.
since we're at the halfway mark almost, this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is the New Belgium Summer Helles Lager. I read the packaging and I also went to the New Belgium website. Apparently, they made this beer for a bluegrass festival a couple years ago.
It's my favorite.
I want to try this now.
Oh, dude, come on! It's a summer ale. It looks pretty good.
We're gonna have a good night.
It's the one beer podcast.
Okay. All right, let's pop the top of these bad boys.
So, Eric,
Please be better.
you're here.
What is this, water?
Alright, so you guys just want to like shotgun these?
I probably could. I don't taste anything. Did I die?
Yeah,
You're not here right
you're
now.
dead.
Are you taste? Does
It's
this have taste?
It's going through you. You're like Captain Barbosa. It's just flowing right through you.
Falling
I'm sorry,
to the
who?
floor.
Who's Captain Barbosa?
Pirate. He's a pirate.
From?
He's a pirate.
From
He's a
what?
pirate.
Spirit.
He's a pirate.
It's our favorite film, Spirit.
Do something with your beard, man. It looks like a cloud of hair. On
I actually
your
did
face.
do something. I shaved this part off a little bit. And
Maybe
I'm
that's why it
keeping
looks
this.
weird, because this is just really big.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep this to growing out.
Why?
Because you want it like that, baby.
Yeah, girl.
No. Not just this. The whole thing.
What?
You go full on Action Bronson.
I guess. It
Full
just gets
on-
too messy.
Full on Fidel Castro.
No, because like you were saying, David, like I like to keep this trim now, like above my upper lip, because it gets in the way.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, because I hate being able to go like, and like having the hair just hang down, and like especially on the sides, you know, like Gavin's thing where he used to curl that up. Well, if you don't curl it up, it just hangs down here and it gets in your mouth. So
Well, yeah.
that starts to happen, and like,
Did you just figure this out? a
No,
couple days
that's
ago?
what I'm saying. No, because I obviously don't do that stupid hipster twirly beard. So I just, like, I was able to do this, and I went, oh, that's too long. So I shaved this part down. Mm-hmm. I shaved the sides down a little bit. I need to do it a bit more. I kind of missed a little bit, and I kept this the same length.
Why don't you and Ralph get matching beards?
That'd be awesome. Just leave it growing on him. He could do it.
Anyway, this beer tastes like water to me. I don't taste anything in this.
I taste like a wheat.
There's I taste a malt that back there. Just a regular no flavor.
I'm sorry,
malt.
what? Huh? Excuse me.
A what?
Is this comparable to the Fortune?
No, not at all.
Oh, you think the Fortune was better?
I don't want to say better, because it was just... not great in a different way.
This isn't good. This isn't bad.
They're both
Yeah, that's what I'm
average.
saying.
I
their
don't
own
even get any
ways.
taste off of it.
I mean, I'm just gonna jump straight to my review. It's a 3 to me.
3?
Yeah, it's a 3 to me. It's an average beer.
Marco?
You would give it less than a 3?
I'm gonna give it a 1.
A 1? Are you
1.
kidding me?
I'm giving it a
You're
1.
so dramatic. A
And
1?
what's like a natty ice?
Quarter cap.
Oh man, I didn't know we're going that low. I think you have to keep it at least at a full.
No way. I don't care.
Maybe a 0 for something that's
This
complete
is
garbage.
bad. I do not like this. This is water. Like, this is the most watered down beer ever tasted.
I mean, you have to.
So you haven't had Natty Ice actually in real life.
Okay, no.
in real life,
Wait, have I?
it's
probably
fizzy
have.
poo water.
Because that's the most watered down
Yeah.
beer of
Plus,
all time.
Plus headache.
Yeah.
This is hanging with it.
I mean, I see the purpose.
It's lucky it's New Belgium. Otherwise, it would get a quarter cap.
Oh God.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
gonna
think
go
so.
3 also.
I get the purpose of this beer. It's for like if you're on the beach, if
It's
you're
a-
hanging out,
right.
on a picnic.
It's
or
a
something.
light summer
Or at a
ale.
bluegrass festival,
bluegrass festival. You know.
and they ran out of natty ice.
Yeah,
Like
it's
your,
only 5 ABV. It's not like, I'm going 3.
Disappointed.
I can
Entirely
see that.
tonight.
Yeah.
Entirely tonight.
This whole night was bad.
Swing and a
for
miss.
you.
Yeah, like, why would you do this to me? Like,
Why
I
you do this?
I had a bad day.
Look, man,
I'm
it was
sorry.
a New Belgium. I thought,
Yeah.
I didn't think you'd hate it so much. Sorry.
I mean, it was worth the shot. New Belgium. We've had some of their beers in the past.
They've
all
always been
solid.
pretty solid.
Have either of
yeah.
you had this before?
No.
Okay, I'll let
Yeah.
it pass.
No.
Not mad at you guys.
Yeah, we had that conversation actually when he was buying.
I saw it and I said, oh, fuck it. Summer brew. It's the summer.
Go for it.
Go for
Yeah,
it.
exactly. A wise man once said.
Not that wise.
Apparently.
All right. Well, I'm glad that this is a total bum fest. Let's just move on.
All right, something that's not a bum fest.
Yeah.
Just gonna go to sleep now.
Apparently coming out.
Dave,
This night to be over.
I'm sorry. This is like a bad date.
Episode 21, Bad Beer Night. We finally did it. We talked about it. We
Yeah,
did it now.
Happened by accident.
Boom, there you go.
Thanks, Adam.
It happened.
This is your fault.
Yay.
Partly blame you. Go ahead.
On to my good segue that I did earlier.
Uh-huh. Trash
Uh,
that.
Something that's not a bum fest.
Bad segue night.
Something that's not a bum fest is apparently the new Guardians of the Galaxy
saw
movie is getting rave reviews.
Yes.
I checked out on Rotten Tomatoes and it's currently standing at 100%.
No way.
Yeah, it'll lower.
It'll lower. I mean, it's like 3 weeks out, something like that. 2 weeks probably.
2 weeks, yeah.
2 weeks.
August 1st.
Right. I mean, the only reason they
That's next week.
is it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh wow!
Are we going first night? Right?
I don't know. Can we?
I don't know.
Can we do that?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we could do that next week.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
we can do that.
Cool. But anyway, so yeah, it's getting.
Okay, all right.
Really good
I'm
reviews.
really excited about Guardians
I am
of the
too.
Galaxy.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know you were such a big fan of them.
I'm not.
And you
I
followed all
think
their comics.
the movie. Like, let me just enjoy the movie. Why can't I just enjoy the
'Cause
movie?
I didn't
Why do
enjoy
I
my
have
beers.
to be a fucking guy
I didn't
who's
enjoy my
read the
beers.
entire comic
Cause
series?
Bumfest 2000. Yeah. Anyway,
New Belgium.
this night brought to you by.
New Belgium.
Anyway, my point was that apparently it's getting rave reviews. I was kind of shaky on it from seeing the previews because a lot of the like comedy in it specifically falls flat for me in the previews. Like it didn't make me grin.
It's just like we're hard, but also funny.
Yeah, like
Uh,
I didn't really like the preview so much, but apparently it's reviewing really well, which is what I was hoping for. So it's looking real good.
Disney hasn't missed since they bought Marvel.
This is true.
Yeah, it's like the next batch of Marvel movies after the Avengers had been kind of dark, you know?
Yeah.
Iron Man 3, he's dealing with PTSD for some reason.
No alcoholism though.
Yeah.
They touch on it a little bit.
Hardly.
but yeah, it's not
Needed to be
enough.
more.
Not enough.
I mean-
PTSD. He's Tony Stark. He doesn't give a shit.
Right.
Yeah.
What does
Winter
he do?
Soldier is pretty. It's a pretty dark movie. Nah, I wouldn't say it's really dark, but there's
It gets there,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's definitely not the first Captain America.
No. No.
That
That was
stuff
much
is-
more of a traditional superhero movie.
Yeah.
That was just, hey, here's Captain America.
Yeah.
And here's this movie.
Here's your intro.
I just watched the Avengers again today, actually, on Netflix. There's a lot of like plot holes and like stuff that like bothers me now that I'm watching it again.
Well, I mean, after like the 10th time, Marco.
Right, I know, but it's like it's still like I suspend my disbelief and I just enjoy it for what it was. Really good superhero movie. First time we've seen all these superheroes together in a big budget film. You can't beat that. And from what I've read, Guardians of the Galaxy goes back to that kind of lighthearted, just, hey, this is a summer blockbuster. And you need that every couple of films.
Yeah, but there's no, I don't even know the character's name. There's no Rocket Raccoon 1 or 2 that led into the Guardians of the Galaxy.
You know, I think it's honestly because those characters aren't strong enough to, like, hold a movie
Right,
on
you
their
couldn't
own.
watch a whole Rocket Raccoon movie.
Right. They're a team, and that's what
I
the
don't
movie's
want
about.
to.
Exactly.
That's the reason
That's the point.
that movie shouldn't exist.
It's like a Fonzie movie, you know? Like,
I don't agree with that.
why shouldn't it exist?
Like, it's not... Why should it, though?
Because you have all those characters that together make a really intriguing team.
I think there's better teams.
The Avengers?
The Weapon X.
But you've already got X-Men.
Yeah, that's already a
That's
thing.
not Weapon X, though.
They're like a next generation. It's the same thing. Just
Fantastic
different
Four
mutants.
could have been remade.
They are remaking it.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
Yeah, we talked
So
about
within the Marvel film realm, what other team could there have been? That's not even my question.
that. I don't even think
So-
that's a... I think it just, it just looks good.
I think it was time for it. I think it's the perfect time for that kind of movie.
It looks funny, in my opinion.
I
Looks
mean,
quirky.
mind you, we'll do
Looks like a fun
we
time.
will do a full honest review on this when it
It's the
comes
One
out.
Beer In podcast.
We'll do a review once we've seen the movie, obviously. But
Yeah.
I mean, this is just going off of what we think of it
Yeah.
on the outset.
I mean, I was excited about it because, like, I really like, like dark films and stuff like that. But at the same time, sometimes you just want to watch a lighthearted, just action-packed movie.
right.
I've been waiting for a movie like this since The Avengers to watch a movie like this. So I'm excited about it. It looks entertaining to me.
Well, I mean, something that I've learned is that, calling something a blockbuster popcorn movie is usually an out to accept a stupid movie. Mm-hmm. But from what I've heard, they haven't dumbed down the script to make it a stupid movie. You know,
Right.
like, it still has a good story. It still has good character moments. And they don't stop on that type of stuff.
Right.
And they haven't really in the Marvel Universe.
Plus, it's supposed to be integral to the story, the whole
Yeah.
Marvel story.
I hear the MacGuffin in the movie is like a big deal within the overall universe of Mr. MacGuffin. You ever heard of him?
The Muffin Man?
The Muffin, yeah,
Mr.
the
McGuffin.
McMuffin, the McMuffin,
MacGuffin, the McMuffin.
the MacGuffin, the thing that they're all looking for the entire movie, basically.
It's like the Tesseract.
Yeah, exactly. It's that
Cosmic
thing.
Cube.
Okay, so my point in bringing that up was actually we were on the right track before talking about Iron Man, where Kevin Feige is apparently been in the news lately because of all the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff. He's kind of the head of the Marvel Films division. He's the one that signs off on basically the grand scope of the Marvel Universe.
I knew
in
that.
film.
Did you know that?
No. Continue on.
You monster!
I wanted them to know that I drank that.
Anyway, so the reason I brought up Guardians of the Galaxy doing so well is because the main dude behind Marvel Film Studios was talking about possibly bringing back the Mandarin and talking about Red Skull too. So
Red Skull died.
obviously people.
And the Mandarin was fake.
So obviously
No, the Mandarin died.
no.
Because
Red Skull
freaking-
died.
No, the Mandarin died because, what's his name?
I forgot his name.
Guy Pearce.
Guy Pearce.
Oh yeah,
He
What's
was
his
the
name in
Mandarin.
He was the Mandarin. He died.
he wasn't really the Mandarin though.
He was the Mandarin. He
No.
died. Okay, so you're telling me that they're gonna make another Mandarin and be like that Mandarin was a different.
Well, no,
Mandarin.
because the Guy Pearce character, which I'm sorry, I forget his name, his character name.
Killian.
Killian, that's right, Killian. So
Clutch.
yeah, good job on that. Killian in that story, he made up the fake Mandarin off of true things within that world.
He calls himself the Mandarin in the end of the movie.
You think that dude's gonna create an underground crime world, call himself the Mandarin, and the actual Mandarin isn't gonna know about it?
That's the point. Because there was that after credit scene that not after credit scene, but like they added an additional 10-minute little short.
Yeah, I heard about that. I've been trying to. I was gonna find it on the internet.
Yeah, actually, I haven't been able to watch it there, but I saw the gist of it.
Ben Kingsley is in it. He's in jail.
It doesn't matter. Like it's just they're just saving face.
Okay,
Like the movie.
Let me.
Yeah.
Can I read the Kevin Feige quote?
Go.
Feige noted, "There have been talks. That's one of the reasons we want to do the fun short with Drew Pierce. What? Oh, that Drew Pierce wrote and directed. I got confused there. That was to clarify, hey, just because we did this thing doesn't mean that other things don't exist. And wait, it's not finished yet.
Don't like it already.
And as we were making Iron Man 3, and I think Drew spoken about this, that was always our intention, was that Aldrich Killian was perverting the notion of these things he's heard." Feige continued, "There's a little bit of that when he's doing his detective work in his lab after Happy's been injured outside the Chinese theater. He's talking about, okay, the Mandarin is taken from various iconographies, that's hard, and mythologies from across the world. The idea is always that there's somebody like this. There has been rumors of somebody like this, and Aldrich Killian just built on that to make his version."
When do they explain that in the movie?
They don't.
They don't explain any of that.
He says, I remember him saying specifically that he's taken ideas from these dictators and these like evil people within the world to make the Mandarin, the fake Mandarin.
Well, that's
as a theater
fine.
piece.
That's fine, but you can't write in the Mandarin afterward. He can't exist now after, because they've already made reference to him twice. He's been two characters, and then when we know that the second character, he's used these different dictators and all these ideologies to create this amalgam of one character.
And then when the fake Mandarin is the physical, like, or he looks like the Mandarin that we're imagining,
right.
You can't say like, all right, well, he was the fake Mandarin that the real Mandarin, who was also fake, was making after the real Mandarin.
This
This whole thing just makes
It's bullshit.
It makes me
it's
angry.
a shitty ass excuse, and I don't like it.
They know they fucked up,
right?
And that this is them saving face.
I mean, for the record, I'm not as upset at that choice of plot, with the idea of them having that. The shadow puppet, basically.
Nah, get out.
God, both of you are such disappointments tonight.
I mean, that was a really brave thing to do within the plot.
Do you think that's okay though? To try to save face like that? You think that's okay? They
no.
They
I think it's okay, you son of a bitch. Oh, he's hitting me.
They ruined Iron Man's main nemesis, and you think it's okay for them to just try to save face? Like, hey, he was just doing a character he researched.
Okay. Hold on. Before any of this happened, before this movie even happened, did you hear about the Mandarin?
What do you mean?
Was the Mandarin a character that was high on your list of villains?
Yes.
I don't think it was.
It was.
He
was
as a fan of Iron
Man cartoons.
He was the guy who I was waiting for. And when I saw the trailers for Iron Man 3 that the Mandarin was in it...
Wait, you didn't know who the Mandarin was?
No, I knew who the Mandarin was, but the majority of
people... They made references to the Seven Rings in the other films. In the first film and in the second film.
The gauntlet gets taken by Thanos too, doesn't it?
Okay, so the references that they made in Iron Man are going to...
Thanos, I believe?
Okay.
So where's Mandarin play into this?
That would be in Avengers 3, though, wouldn't it?
Right.
Yeah, because the next one's going to be...
Age of Ultron.
Right. Which they just released pictures of.
I've seen those posters. Look pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty legit to the comics, too.
Mm-hmm.
I like not looking at things.
Just
and then when I wait till the movie comes out and watch it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, I don't want to build hype for myself. Like, oh, this is so cool. And then... Like, I want to be surprised when I watch them.
Yeah, like with Guardians of the Galaxy, for instance, there's a 5-minute clip online. They had a 17-minute clip.
Yeah.
I don't know if did you guys see that?
Why would you release that much of the movie?
Right, that's a lot. Well,
they did that at like an expo, didn't they?
Yeah, well, they had it in theaters too.
Oh, right. It was the IMAX thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just like they did with Dark Knight.
Yeah. So you can drive all the way out to Point Orlando.
Dark Knight was 5 minutes though, or first 15 or something. First 10?
No, it was only the 5 minutes.
First
It was
5
the
minutes.
first
The
scene
first
with
scene,
Bane.
yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
But it was
No,
attached.
not
yes.
Bane. Joker.
Dark Knight.
Joker.
Which wait. Oh, okay. I'm
do
talking
that,
about the
actually.
Dark Knight Rises.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
did it.
you're right.
It was,
They did
it was
that
part
too.
of Ghost Protocol.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible.
You're right,
You had to
you're
go
right.
and see
They
that.
did that too.
You get the 5 minutes.
The one I
of
was thinking
Batman.
of was Dark Knight, though.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. A lot of nerd clarification just went on.
Yeah.
To summarize.
I'm sick of us.
Yeah, to summarize.
Anyway, wait. Yes, we knew who the Mandarin was. A lot of Iron Man fans knew who the Mandarin was.
Right.
Oh, if you're a fan of
Oh,
Iron
yeah,
Man,
if you're a fan of Iron Man,
you better
the,
know who
the
that
Mandarin
Mandarin
is
is.
integral to the Iron Man story.
Right.
Right.
That's
But-
like saying you didn't know Dr. Octopus was Spider-Man's main enemy. Or that Magneto.
Green Goblin.
But I mean, but as a person who if you're a person who just watches the films
You'd have no idea.
and
Yeah.
you wouldn't
Well,
care
they-
about that twist,
Yeah.
you would think that twist was good because you don't know the
Who
significance
the fuck are you
of
making
the
the
Mandarin.
movies for then?
Everybody, man, they're not making it just
It's
for the
not
guys
just
who
for the-
read the comics.
Right. And
You
as
don't
a
even
film,
fucking read comics anymore.
as a film beat, I feel like that was a very strong one because people had this expectation and they turned it on its head. That was maybe not the smartest thing for the fans, obviously, but it was a smart film choice.
Well,
it was
the-
surprising. It was genuinely surprising.
The problem I have with it is their Mandarin was good. It
Yeah.
was a legit
Oh, he
Mandarin.
was great.
And that's
Yeah.
my problem with it. Why, you set it up to be great. It
That's-
was good.
That's part of the trick.
I don't
it was
like
because the Mandarin was a cliche bad guy
Right.
who had, a henchman working for him.
Right.
He couldn't exist in a reality where superheroes exist that could be plausible and be that kind of person.
Right.
Within that reality of what they've set up, it's just too much.
I don't like it.
But, I mean, apparently they've heard the fans and they want to
Russ-
backtrack on that.
Russ
So,
of the
would
Jets.
you guys prefer if they just didn't and they just let that mistake go?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they just backed away and said, okay, sorry.
I want these guys to, even if I don't like what they do or appreciate what they do, I want them to commit to their storylines. If you're going to go for something, fucking go for it. I don't want you to cop out in the next movie and say, yeah, we did
Just
that,
kidding.
but...
Let's fix this.
Yeah, I don't like that. You made that choice. Now stick with it.
Yeah.
You know? That's how I feel. Even if I don't like the
I don't
direction
think
that
that's
it's
how
going
you feel,
in.
though.
Okay. You tell me how I feel.
I think you feel first class.
What do you mean?
Because they messed up, and then on days of present, futures,
yeah.
past, tomorrow,
Yesterday's
today's,
past,
yesterday,
tomorrow.
mañanas, they fixed all that.
No,
You
I was
love
still
that
bothered
movie.
by it.
You love
I
that
like the
movie.
movie. Like I said, even if I don't appreciate the direction they go in, I want them to stick with their choices. They didn't stick with their choices. They had to go back and fill a bunch of plot holes that they created. I didn't appreciate that. And you can go back on the podcast and I talk about how I don't like the plot holes in Days of Future Past. So don't try to throw that shit in my face, motherfucker.
You jabroni!
I think you like that movie, though.
I said I liked the movie. But there were still plot holes in the film and there's no continuity and I said that.
Marco, no one's going to fill the plot holes in your heart.
Anyway, no. No.
You don't even know what you're talking about.
I know exactly what I'm talking
You
about.
love
There's no
First Class.
inconsistency in what I'm talking about. I liked First Class a lot. I like Days of Futures Past a lot. But there's no continuity between those films. Well, okay, there's some between First Class and Days of Future Past. There is. But not Days of Future Past to the original trilogy. Almost none.
Well, that's
No.
because it happens. They go before the original trilogy starts.
No, their cop-out is it's a different universe or whatever. It's bullshit. It's a cop-out. Same with this Mandarin bullshit.
So you-
and all of it is the same to me. It's bullshit.
I don't like the Mandarin thing.
Okay.
I like the X-Men thing.
Whatever.
It's the One Beer in Podcast.
That's what you're here for.
So good.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I would like...
That was supposed to end.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Fucking it. That's it.
Just a dark end. Just
It's the One Beer and Podcast.
the One Beer in Podcast.
Oh my, no credits.
Just because I'm so my disappointment just ends the episode. You add fake piano. In
All right, cap this bad boy off.
I mean, I personally am interested to see what they do with that. I think it is a cop-out, obviously, because they're just backpedaling on what they decided on that such a strong decision to do, right? Which is what we've talked about in the past with Iron Man in particular.
They were so behind it when they first did it.
Yeah.
You know? They were like, just fucking, yeah, well, yeah. Eat that. Fans, suck it.
Yeah.
And now they're like, we fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, it got a lot of backlash, and I mean, I see the point. I see why people are upset about it. I think it was still smart of an idea, but yeah, obviously it wasn't what the people wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're doing a blockbuster movie like that, you got to take that into consideration.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you know, we'll see what happens.
You got to take into consideration not doing stupid things.
It's not stupid. That was a smart move. That was a
wouldn't call it
smart.
smart.
That was a smart.
I would
ruin the Mandarin?
I would say it was risky and innovative to take something that people hold dear and turn it on its head like that.
What
I just
other
think it
comic
didn't
book
work.
movie has done that?
That's what I'm saying. Like I said, I appreciate them going for that risk. It didn't work for me. It ruined the film for me. Well, there was a lot of things that ruined the film for me, but that was one of them.
I'm not trying to back up Iron Man 3 because that was a train wreck, honestly. Especially that last quarter of a movie was garbage.
We can start another podcast on the
Let's
plot
not
holes in
even
that
start.
movie.
Let's not even start on that. But I mean, I still think that what they did was successful because it rustled your gems so much.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's what they were trying to do. And that was obviously a wrong move as far as making a blockbuster success. Mm-hmm. I mean, not even though because it made a lot of money. But at the same time...
It's going to make a lot of money because of Robert Downey Jr. and
Iron
the
Man.
legacy and Iron Man. It's going to make that money regardless. It could have been a fucking shit show, which part of it was, but it was going to make that money regardless.
That's true. But I mean, I guess the main point is we'll see what happens as far as the Marvel Universe and if they somehow bring back the Mandarin. I don't see any way of them doing that without it being a complete cop-out.
I hope they don't.
And then, you know...
If they do, I hope they cast Ken Jeong,
For what?
the Mandarin.
Mandarin is really actually supposed to be Asian. So,
but okay.
For lols.
yeah.
Or
real,
Shang Tsung,
real
if he's still
casting, Chow Yun-Fat.
For the Mandarin?
Yeah,
I don't think he's evil enough. He looks like too much of a nice
I think
guy.
he could do it. Or no, the guy who played Shang Tsung is pretty good casting. I like that.
Yeah.
Your soul
like that.
is mine.
Anyway, I think that's about it.
Oh,
We're motherfucker, what?
They also mentioned
Adam, shut up. It's the One Beer In Podcast.
I just want to talk about nerdy stuff.